Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day or night you are joining us. I wish you the best of it. I'm Grant Lamontang from multitool.org, and this is EDC-TV. Tonight, as usual, I've got my good friends Abe and Inky with me tonight. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Glad to hear it. So, tonight we are going to be looking at some new stuff, as we've been doing for the past few weeks. Don't worry, this will be the last one for a little while. But we are going to start off with our traditional thing of looking around and seeing what we got. I know Abe's got some cool new stuff to show us. What have you got there, Abe?
Well, let's start off with the easy stuff. So I do own some Knipex Raptor styles. And when you mentioned that there was a smaller style, I went and got the WorkPro. So these, like the ones I had, they were like on special. They might have been like $30 US or something like that. $29.99 on special. These were only $16 Canadian. So they were pretty cheap. Yeah. These they feel pretty. I get a little compression, so they're not weak. This is a good solid build. Again, I think I'm going to have the same issue that I had with the Knipex versions. Is they're small, so you can supposed to get in small places, but when the place gets so small, it's hard to operate them compared to like an adjustable wrench. But we'll carry them for a little bit, put the test on them, eat on a little bit. The mechanism pretty much works the same.
Excellent. I like the blue button on them. Makes them really stand out.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice. And it's very easy to operate. It doesn't stick. I haven't put any oil on it at all. So if I put a little bit of oil on them, like I don't need to.
What brand is that again?
This is WorkPro.
WorkPro. And where did you grab that at?
It was Amazon for about $16 when I got it. And with these, like with the adjustable wrench one, you set the width of your jaws and you go in at it. With what I found is a couple times I've had problems where for me to get it open enough to put it on the nut, I don't have enough room to move my hand in there. And that's the other problem, the restriction, space restriction.
Well, that's the nice thing about the slip joint is you can, slide it down so you got the handles closer together while still grabbing a larger nut.
Yeah, it's just sometimes you get in, like a couple times I've got caught in behind toilets and I just couldn't.
Anyways, Inky, have you got anything new you want to share with us?
I got a knife, Kaiser. It's got this G10 handle. It's a mini Momo. That's the name. I was going to
You
get the
talked
Momo,
about that last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I ordered it, but this was like way on sale on Amazon.
Nice.
Has this little flippy thing there. First, it's you know what it's like? It's like you can get used to it right away, but it takes a couple of flicks each time.
Uh-huh.
So if you take it out of your pocket, I don't know if you're going to be able to get used to it the first time. So I don't know how it's going to be when I need it to open it one hand quick. It's really, really, it looks uncomfortable, but it's really nice to use, actually. It's not bad.
Is that tip up or tip down carry? Because that looks like that might poke you in some very unpleasant areas.
Tip and Z down and Z, but cannot switch it.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not switchable, I guess, for that reason. You know where the wave is, where it goes back into the back corner of your pocket?
Yep.
It would be like that area, so it's not going to open, but...
So that's pretty nice there. Is that, what is it, green micarta or G10?
It's green G10.
Nice.
Nah, I think the bolsters are black G10.
Oh, are they? Okay, they look like they were metal. That's pretty cool.
It's all like metal line. It's not really nested, but they're thick enough.
Very cool.
It's got some holes in there, to take weight out. Got some holes in the liner. The lockup's nice, right on there. Not even fully on, but that's the way I like it. On enough.
A liner lock, is it?
What?
Liner lock, is it?
Yeah. You see it?
Yeah, through frame design, so you don't get a lot of dirt built up in there.
That's nice.
I like it. They make a big Momo, which I'd rather have. But the price of this and everything else was great,
Can't argue with that. I mean, if the price works.
Yeah. It's a 3.2-inch blade, I believe.
What else have you got there?
So this is anybody who does construction work or carpentry work or just likes a good, sturdy pencil. This is a Pika pencil, but they're expensive. When I bought mine, they were about $17 for a pencil. I think they're higher now. And so what it is you get a thick lead off of it.
Okay.
See, thick lead. It's mechanical. And for these, if you want to sharpen the tip, you just go in the tip and there's a sharpener here. So it's a nice pencil. It works well. I like it.
Cool.
So this here, though, is what I bought. So people are starting to do some knockoffs of them. So I got 3 of these for $13 on Amazon. Came with 2 packs of extra lids, each pencil. It works pretty much the same way, with the one exception. The other one, like I said, was just, and you sharpen it. This thing here, the sharpener, they hid the sharpener in the top. And so you undo your cap and your sharpener's in your cap. You can see it there.
Okay.
But if you're looking for a good mechanical pencil, so far with limited testing, it's been doing okay. It works, it feeds, the leads make a decent mark. It's not fine. So you're not, the reason why I like these is if I'm out making notes, like you're out making notes or something like that, a lot of times you're kind of holding the pad on your hand,
right?
And you get a small, sharp 5mm or 0.5 millimeter pencil or a 7 one, you're right through it. This one makes a nice large mark. I kind of like them. And the best part too is you got the holster that goes in your pocket, and then you just, whenever you want it, you just put it back in and out.
And any other new stuff you want to tell us about?
I ordered another Kaiser, but I don't have it.
No?
I actually sent it to my cousin, but I also got this. When I got that, little pry ball, the one I was telling you about. I didn't really do much with it. It's supposed to do 175,000 things.
Is that the Kaiser pry bar?
It's the Kaiser Kai bar.
Doesn't that look fancy? You get some wrench cutouts in that.
It's
what are those little pokey bits on the end?
Toothpick and tweezer.
Cute.
Wow, that's pretty cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's strong. It's titanium. I mean, I don't know. There's pictures of it doing so many different things. It's amazing. Sorry, I keep missing the camera.
Titanium is not really a good metal for a pry bar. Unless you're doing EOD work or you want something that's non-sparking or non-magnetic. Titanium just is too soft for any serious prying. But I suppose when the thing's, what is that, maybe 2 inches long, you're probably not doing any serious prying anyway, right?
They show it pulling out little nails, and there's a bunch of little things they do with it. I don't know. You know, of course, it's a perfect setup. You know, they have all the little things set up.
I've always had an issue with those little pry bars. I mean, the whole point of a pry bar is to have leverage. And, you know, when it's 2 inches long, how much leverage are you really getting out of it?
It's about 2.5.
2.5. Oh, well, yeah, I take back everything I said. 2.5 is plenty of leverage.
It's a little tiny thing at the end there.
Was
right in the middle.
Archimedes that said, give me a place to stand and a lever long enough and I shall move the earth? Apparently that 2.5 inches will do it. Either way, the point is the same. But, you know, if you've got a 2-inch pry bar, that's just not going to do anything. But Inky's is 2.5. So, you know, he should be able to move pretty much any decent-sized planetary object with that.
Yeah.
Still not big enough to move my ex-mother-in-law, but that's another story.
It's a little wide to get inside of a gun chamber, so I got to take out a stuck shell.
Well, no, that's why you need your Leatherman mutt, because it has that tiny little pry bar end on the...
That's what I was thinking when Inky was showing us his knife. I was like, nobody makes a really nice shade of blue G10 for folders anymore. You know what I mean? It's like a midnight blue instead of like a light blue. I never see it anymore.
I don't like the medium blue. I like the dark and the light.
Yeah.
A regular straight blue is like... But I got an old Tenacious with a blue G10 scale. I think there was a nice color, green and blue.
Well, Yojimbos used to have that blue, but it was like I still found the Yojimbo blue a little too light.
Yeah, it was too much of just blue. I like robin's egg, believe it or not, but it's a little.
That's like your shirt. Robin's egg's kind of like your. At least
I don't know what
it looks close to robin's egg to us. To me,
yeah, I kind of like that color.
So
I don't know why. I don't know how it happened. These things.
A little darker.
I usually like a green, then blue, dark blue. But now my blues are just up and down the whole scale. I don't know how it happened.
Believe it or not, we have a knife podcast.
We do?
We do. I know. Hard to believe.
This is crazy, man.
I was going to cover.
Okay.
Does anybody have anything else new they want to talk about before we get into the new stuff from What is it? We're going to do Civivi this week.
I like all these companies, man. There's even cheaper knives that are almost as good as these companies. It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is.
If
I
this
hate
fake
to say it,
Spyderco is
but
anything to go by, I mean,
you got to tell the truth, you know?
well, I mean, that's what we do. We don't have corporate sponsors. That having been said, if you're a company who would like to sponsor us, feel free to get a hold of us at EDC-TV@multitool.org.
No, just to remind me that the cheap thing is a lady walked in a bar once, said she'd do anything if you could say it in 3 words for $100. So I said, paint my house.
That's a good deal.
Great. She didn't do a bad job either.
Well, that's the important part, as long as it looks good afterwards.
Yeah. Man.
So was the house paint included in that, or did you have to buy that extra?
I had the house paint already, yeah.
So, gentlemen, are we looking at the new Civivi knives or what?
Yeah.
I'm looking through right now. To be frank, the first page, I'm not really finding anything that jumps out on me as far as the aesthetics. I'm not saying they're poorly made, just aesthetically, I'm not finding anything that's drawing my eye. The eating set looks kind of funky.
Let me pull it up here so that people can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not really finding anything jumping out at me like, ooh, I got to have that. And you know me, I'm pretty restrained. I just don't go around buying knives. I'm always.
I'm kind of actually liking the look of these Vexron ones. I wouldn't mind giving one of those a try.
Which
Not a
ones
bad
you
price
liking?
at $75.
The blade kind of is reminiscent of the native.
It is. I was thinking more along the lines of, they look chunky like some of the old zero tolerance knives.
Yeah. Well, then if we're going with chunky, that drop point does remind me a little bit of the. And as soon as I went to Sam, I forgot their name.
Yeah,
Which
that
one do you like?
happens.
That tactical folder that did some collaborations with the company did collaborations with Buck. It was a really big chunky folder, and I'm trying to think of it now.
You're not thinking of.
You talking about the Buck Tarani with almost look like a Strider?
There we go. Thank you, Strider. I don't know why I can't remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, very Strider-esque, I think.
Yeah, very.
I think Grant likes this for the blade. That's what I think.
Yeah, once again, I'm kind of finding myself kind of liking a Damascus blade, which seems weird.
That happened to me for 20 minutes once. Then I realized I was doing it, and I stopped it.
Well, this is a third Damascus blade I've looked at in the last month.
Well, then go
Is it
straight
worth
down.
the extra $25.
Yeah, go straight down underneath it. There's another one. I don't know if you like that pattern, but it's a little bit. I think it presents itself a little bit better because the color's a little lighter. You can actually see the plate of the pattern.
That reminds me of a Kershaw or something. You know, I know Civivi's very big on the button lock.
Yeah, I can't say that one appeals to me all that much. It seems a little too sleek for my style. I like something that fills a hand a little bit better, something that feels like you got a blade on it. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of button locks. Now, mind you, I haven't had one since, God, what was it? Boker years ago did the top locks.
They're great. It's like a broken switchblade almost.
Well, that doesn't really seem like something I'd be all that interested in. The ceramic ball bearing pivot point, though, that definitely is a plus.
It's smooth, tight, everything. It just, I don't know. It doesn't remind you of broken switchblade. It's just like there's a button and no spring. It's like,
I know.
I
got to say,
I know it's not for this podcast, but I was going to ask you, like, what size knives do you like mostly? 'Cause I always need something a little bit bigger, but I don't like real heavy knives.
He likes short and stubby stuff. He kind of identifies with that part thing, short and stubby.
I like a good size folder, but I like a small fixed blade. Mind you, I also like big fixed blades. I like fixed blades. When it comes to folders, this is a copy of a paramilitary too. It's a good size blade.
Yeah.
I find the police model, as much as I love it, I find it kind of just beyond the maximum size that I like to have. It is also one of the only sleek type blades that I like. I generally like something a little bit chunkier. These Corvids from this is the mini one. I like the medium size one from Concept. They're chunky and I like that. Not necessarily fan of the blade shape, but I like something that just looks like it's out to take a pounding and, is going to come back and ask for more,
I had a couple of
See, now that
girlfriends like
blade
that.
shape, I could get behind if it was a little longer. There's something about it, like there's a couple of Ethan grows that have that nice razor and the almost cleaver like tip to it. And
Mhm.
in a small knife, I don't hate it, but I actually find it quite attractive in a longer blade.
So the thing about this, and all of us being old will be able to agree with this just seems wrong. I don't know if you guys recall the good old days of, knife design, or what is it, mid to late 90s, where really the goal was to have as much blade in the handle as possible.
Yeah.
You wanted that blade to be not sticking out, but you also wanted it to maximize the amount of space in the handle. You wanted
Mhm.
as much blade as possible. And this, because of the way, the butt is shaped here, if it was shaped kind of going out this way instead, you could have another, and this is a tiny blade, but you could have probably at least another quarter, maybe half an inch of, actual cutting surface. And let's face it, without this part here, no knife is really any good. So you want as much cutting surface as possible in a knife, because that's what a knife is for, is cutting. I know that comes as a shock to many people, but there it is.
They're
Yeah.
not just sharpened fidget spinners?
I mean, they are nowadays. Why do you think I bought this $20 Spyderco knockoff? I could play with this thing for hours.
Yeah. Now, see, what you're talking about here is a change in design, because a lot of times when you're looking at the fact that you've got a commercial industry like this, you obviously got to separate yourself from the competition. So the design thing you're talking about is the trend to be asymmetrical instead of
Yes.
symmetrical. So here with my buck, this is getting towards a little bit of asymmetrical because of the hump they put here. But for the most part, when you close it or you look at it this way, the blade isn't too much off of the dimensions of the handle, right? And
I
so
was
there's,
actually thinking that looks like it's got a little bit of a short blade to it compared to the
yeah, but
handle.
also the height. Remember, there's quite a bit, not as much as in this design here. I don't have a lot of good examples up tonight, but this design definitely fits exactly what you talk about. Most of the blade in the handle. This has got a little bit, it's getting a little close out there. But what a lot of guys started doing, especially with that razor design, was to set their design off. Actually, Inky, do you still have your knife with you?
Which one?
The one you showed at that your new knife that you just showed.
This guy, Kaiser?
Yeah, open up the Kaiser if you can. Okay, and see, that's asymmetrical. He's got if when that blade, put it horizontally for me, would you? Look at how much thicker the thickest point of that blade is compared to the thickest point of the handle.
Mhm.
So we saw a lot of this starting to come out because utility wise, I mean, not much difference. It's like having a kitchen knife, like a chef's knife
Mhm.
for a folding knife. But you'll see that now. That's like people are known for that. They got a trend going of where they do a lot of, if you look at Ken Onion's designs, he's a symmetrical guy.
Mhm.
Most of his designs, I don't know every one of his designs, but most of his designs keep that proportion. And in his mind, it seems like he really likes the idea of making sure the blade isn't much or larger than the handle at all. So he keeps his essence symmetrical. So just thought I'd mention that. Just one of those things when you're writing an article, you got to have a title for it. So they labeled it, but still nothing wrong with that knife though. I think that's a nice little user. That looks to me like if I was working someplace where I couldn't have a big knife and needed to open boxes, that looks like a great little blade.
You talking about that knife that Inky has there?
No, yours, the one that you put up, because it's got a
The little
utility
Corvid. Yeah.
a utility tip to it. I think that would be like if you wanted a carry knife, like I said, but you were working someplace where maybe if you had something big like Inky's pop out, like if Inky popped his big thing out in front of a customer, he'd scare them off. So this way, that would be something you could open up the package with and really not cause any attention.
Well, the nice thing about the larger versions of this, and I have a couple of them just not handy, is, and we've discussed this before, this big fuller here on the end does actually act like a wave when it's in your pocket. And with a little bit of practice, you can actually have it snap open when you draw it, which is nice. I do like that. I personally find this is a little excessive, but this is the kind of thing I like. I like a nice chunky folder. I like something that again, looks like you're just gonna, it's gonna walk into hell and come out the other side with a big ass smile on its face. And but again, you can take that a little too far, right?
Yeah.
But we are supposed to be looking at Civivi knives, not talking about literally every other knife except Civivi. So this button lock kite fin flipper, it's a nice slick looking knife. And if that's your kind of thing, then, power to you. It's just not necessarily one that appeals to me. Let's put
Which
it
one
back
are you
up on the
talking about?
screen here.
Just
This
a lot
guy
of them
right
have it.
here, the one that we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes. There's a bunch of different versions of it, obviously.
Yeah, it's looking pretty straightforward. It's actually, that's got like a Kershaw handle on it, almost.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking knife. I wouldn't be upset if I had one of these, but it's a little too sleek for me, and I'm not really a big fan of the button lock. That's just not really my thing.
You got to get your hands on one. A lot of people do, grow a bit of an attachment to them, believe it or not.
Well, it's entirely possible. I mean, whatever you get used to is, I do like the fact that it says somewhere along here, where is it? Yeah,
Did you see
caged ceramic ball bearings. I mean, that thing probably flips open beautifully.
This one you guys might like. Well, it wouldn't change my mind. I just like it because it's white, but I think you guys would like this for the whole setup of it. I put a link so you don't have to look for it if you want to see it.
Years ago, Daryl Ralph had some knife kits he was selling through. Forget which knife company he was supplying him through. They were nice looking knives, and they were button locks. And I had to build a couple for an article, and they were nice looking knives. They I wish I could remember what they were. But
so this is the one that Inky is talking about.
Yeah, I've seen that before. It's pretty straightforward.
What's that?
That knife. It's pretty straightforward.
Well, I mean, that one comes with the pen and everything.
Yeah, I see that. I was trying to figure out what that was, but it's a pen.
I like
sure.
it. I like the knife.
Certainly comes in a variety of colors.
Yeah, it has
including
that
blue, yellow PEI stuff that you like.
That's the blue I really don't like. Plus, it's aluminum, right? Is it aluminum?
Yeah, it looks like aluminum metal.
Yeah, there's PEI white, which I love, and P. I gotta get a P in my eye. I mean, a PEI.
Oh, hey, the Damascus blade.
See, these are too small.
Carbon fiber resin. That looks nice. That's got the carbon fiber resin has a bit of a midnight sky look to it. I like that. Not so much the Damascus. I could take it or leave it, but that handle has, you look up at the sky at all the stars. I kind of like that.
Which one is that? I'm not seeing that one here.
The shredded. I think it's called the shredded. It's right after the white one.
This one.
Yeah, I like that handle. It reminds me of a Buckeye Burl neck knife that I made one time. I'm sorry I could kick myself to this day because I bought only one stick of that material off of the guy who did stabilized wood. He was one of the first guys. I can't remember his name now, of course. And I only bought one stick of it, and I've never seen Buckeye Burl in that color look that good ever again. So,
yeah, that's okay. It's not my kind of thing, but there's a lot of things that are not my kind of thing. That's why there's so many on the market. So let's get back to these here.
Look at that first knife that pops up. It's like a miniature Strider AR.
Which one is that?
That blue and red one, the fixed blade, pops up when you click on the link.
This one here. Is this the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Not crazy about the whole thing's kind of like, don't hate it. It's just not my type of knife.
Yeah, I don't like it that much, but
it's cute. And as a guy who loves small fixed blades, I really should like it, but I'm just not really seeing anything there that's...
Tell you one I like a lot is the Cachet. I like the whole shape of that. I actually think I have one. That's under the discontinued sale, by the way.
Oh, it's a discontinued one. Well, we're talking about new stuff today. So.
Well, I've just popped. I came across it. But just to say, I do like it. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not that old. It's not new.
The Civivi Partake. I just find something like that. I'm not crazy about it. I don't like having
the Cachet you're talking about, Inky?
That one in particular, I like. Yeah.
Yeah, I could get behind that one. I like the red
and 3 3 1/4 inch blades now. I don't understand it. Make a knife. No one's making 3.5 feet 4 inch blades.
You know, I gotta say, not having the giant hockey mitts that you've got, I don't really find that to be much of an issue for me, but I can see why it would be for you.
Well, if you go
Abe,
down
you
to
were talking about these. You're not really too thrilled about these.
which one?
The
I was also saying
partake.
the partake. No, I kind of don't like that idea of having to like be a baton whirler when I'm eating. Do you know what I mean? Like two utensils. I just find that I've tried those before, and it like I want to cut something, so now I got to switch around. I got the fork. If I had anything in the spoon, it usually drips down the handle. But
Do you usually use all
why else you
three
don't like
things
that,
at the same time?
huh?
Do you often use the knife, fork, and spoon all at the same time?
You might, depending on what you're doing. Like if you just had your soup before your meal, and then you're going to go and eat. Now you're going to eat your steak and your vegetables and shit. Yeah,
You know why you really don't like it, Abe? Can I put you on the spot here?
sure.
Because you don't like to make decisions while you're eating.
No, I don't ever make decisions while I'm eating. I don't ever make decisions.
Oh my god! I
Abe, I
gotta
don't
give
make
that
any
one to
decisions
Inky.
while I'm eating.
Yeah, I
I
don't like
just
making
died when he said that.
I just
He was
eat.
like, that's serious.
Yeah, I don't make decisions. I just eat. I don't want to fucking have to be.
That someone posted a real nice one of them on multitool.org on Facebook today. That,
What?
Yeah.
man, it was really nice. I couldn't find it, though.
Would they
Let me have a
post?
look here.
A really nice, like, hobo type thing. Actually, it was made by Akinod, but we got to get back to that. It was
Yeah.
really nice looking.
I did a couple of articles on eating knives, so slot knives and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
hobos and stuff.
Yeah. So who had a really nice one was Scouts. Case made one for the Scouts.
Yeah, I had that one.
Yeah, and then there was at one point in time, they don't make it anymore, I don't think. Knives of Alaska made a solid titanium one. Like it was a folding knife, looked like actually a Swiss Army style knife, but it had all the utensils on it. You slid it out and unlocked everything. But for Inky, I was just looking further down the list. You said you wanted larger blades. Now I don't know about the style. I'm not particularly fond of it, but the Outlaw Muck.
Just give me 1 second there, Abe, before we get into that. I seem to have found, I think, what Inky was talking about. And so let's just take a quick look at that before we move along. I think this is the one you were talking about, Inky.
Yeah, look at that thing. What is that, Camp Mikado or something? I like the whole thing about. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I
slot
want
knife.
one. Yeah, it's made so nice and neat. It's got a serrated blade too. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's okay. It's like one of them more like Victorinox type serrations. So those are great. Easy to sharpen. 3 of my paring knives are fully serrated from Victorinox. I love them, man. Love them. And on the triangle sharp maker, it opens up sick. I could do without that, the double bottle opener.
No, it's a bottle opener and a can opener.
Yeah,
But yeah, something like that. If you put if it's 3 levels, it's pretty useful. You can have your fork, knife, and spoon. If it was 3 levels. In there. Yeah, it's not 3 levels.
Yeah, but I think it only comes in 2 parts.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So again, Abe's going to have to make a decision about whether he wants to dribble stuff off of his knife into his spoon or the other way around.
Aren't those handles really nice?
They look nice. It looks nice overall.
I like the spacers and everything in there.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice looking piece. I saw that earlier too, and that's why.
I can't find it on their website though, I'll tell you that. I tried.
I had one of those old Scout knives. I think we talked about them before, but they didn't disconnect. It came in that sheet that looked like a shoe.
Yep.
And it had the fake wood on it. Yeah, that's where I decided no, that the utensils have to be separated when I was using that thing.
I got one of those. The old Japanese ones?
Yeah. I don't know if they were Japanese.
Right
yeah. I wouldn't mind giving this Civivi partake a try myself. I see it as being the same thing that you were talking about with the, what was it? The Gerber complete cutting board set. It's maybe not the most ideal thing, but I feel like, when it's something you need, it looks like it's compact, it all sticks together into one unit, it looks like it would be fairly easy to clean. I would be willing to give this one a shot on some outdoor adventure somewhere. And I do like this coyote color. So, Civivi, if you are listening, you can reach us at EDC-TV@multitool.org. Abe won't have to make a decision while he's eating because I will just test his too.
Yeah. What I would probably do with a setup like this, I'll do seriousness, is the spoon fork thing is okay. Having the can opener, that's okay. But if you're the type of person to carry a knife, then there's your third utensil. I wouldn't bother unless it was just straight like steak or something like that, and potatoes. Then I wouldn't bother with the spoon. Or if it was something where you had to use a knife and you had a choice of spoon and fork, I would just pull out my pocket knife.
Well, the situation where I would use this is, eating outdoors, whether it's one of those boil in the bag mountain house meals or whether it's something I've cooked outside. If it's one of those kinds of situations, then I probably have a good fixed blade, like a Groman or any of the kayak knives that I like the Spyderco Caspian Salt. I've probably got a fixed blade around with me, in which case, I'm not going to be going back and forth between the spoon and the knife and the knife and the spoon and so on. So I don't know that that's, it's a legitimate concern for sure. Obviously it doesn't work for your use case, but I think for mine, I could definitely see this one. I don't know that I like the waxed canvas pouch. So, sometimes things aren't always the cleanest when you put them away. So
Yeah.
I think I'd rather see, I don't know, a plastic sheath or just no sheath at all. Maybe stick a pocket clip or something on it somewhere. But
Yeah. But that's like I said, with this, you're actually saying what I said is if you had a knife on you, you wouldn't need to have the second utensil out on the one side, right?
Yes, that's I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. So
I know you didn't recognize the sound because it happens so rarely, but
yeah.
yes.
But having said that, though, like for instance, there's a bunch of okay, I'll give you one. This last Saturday, I went to the gun club. They serve a great breakfast at the gun club. Shitty utensils because they don't care, right? It's plastic. So the knife works like shit. I pulled out my own pocket knife. But anything, I would have loved to have anything besides that cheap plastic piece of shit fork. And that would have done. I would have taken that. I would have taken basically what I'm saying is, I would have taken that over that. I just don't like the baton thing because I'm also a sloppy, to be honest, I'm a sloppy eater. So I don't want to be swinging that spoon around and going after the knife. I'll paint somebody on the other side of the table with food.
Well, this thing looks like it would be a much more preferable option than any of those plastic knives or plastic forks that you get, when you're at the county fair or something like that. I find those forks are terrible and you tend to break them more often than anything else. So having something like this handy, I think, would be a much more preferable option. And if once in a while you do have to juggle it around and use the knife, well, life's full of little disappointments. There are people starving in this world, and I feel like, oh no, I got my hand a little bit dirty because I had to flip my spoon around. I mean, as far as first world problems go, I think that's
Well,
pretty minimal.
I'm Lebanese. We usually eat with bread, right? That's our culture eats with a lot of bread. But if you had a choice between this and nothing, obviously this would be okay. But I do have one of these days I will break them out because I have been playing with this concept for a while and I have a crap load of eating utensils.
Right.
I should sell some of them so I can buy other stuff.
So I'm really liking the look of this one. The Civivi Yonder. That looks like right up my alley there. What do you guys think of that?
I think it's great. I wish they just make these things bigger. I love a lot of their knives.
Yeah,
I noticed all the companies don't make stuff my size. Those are fat men get treated different.
Well, they do have, that's what I was getting at too. They do got one knife that is Inky's size. I'm not crazy about the pattern, but down if you like that one, I noticed that one. That's a nice knife. It's got some, it's got presentation to it. If you go to the second page, you can find that muck, the outlaw muck on the bottom of the first page, but they actually have some nice looking versions of it on the second page.
I see it here. I don't like that Skinner type blade.
Yeah,
I really don't like that. I got a custom Martizelli, whatever his name is. That I don't like the blade. It's a gorgeous knife. It just
can't say I hate this one. Ordinarily, I don't like that kind of blade.
I like that blade better than the other one.
It's
that
got
one is showing now.
Got a scimitar look to it.
it
Yeah, and I don't
does.
like that blade, in other words, though. But I like it better than the Skinner blade is my most unfavorite blade besides just a worn clip for no reason.
Well, go to
You know,
page
let's see
2.
the Stockman. Love a worn clip, and it's not whatever.
This
Cliff
is
and
page
Stockman.
2.
Yeah, go to page 2.
This
See
is
that
page
one?
2.
So top page 2, that white and black one, sure, it still has the same blade, but I think the presentation of that knife out of all the other models is actually much
It's
better.
beautiful. That's
Yeah.
what I looked at. That's what I said to myself. That's beautiful, except for that blade.
I don't mind the blade so much on this one. Again, it's got that button lock that I just do not care for.
Now, you might, and those things are smooth. Those are the smoothest opening and closing knives. It's just reminds me of a broken switchblade.
Civivi, if you guys are listening, I think you need to send versions of this knife to Inky and I, and why not Abe too? Just because Inky doesn't like your blade style, and I think he might not hate it, and he thinks I might not hate the button lock. So I really feel like we need to test this one out. So Civivi, if you're listening, hit us up at EDC-TV at multitool.org and send a few of these out, and we'll have a look at it.
Now, the last knife on that page, it's not, I'm not saying I love it, but out of the group of new releases, I think it's probably the most standard looking. Does that make sense?
Which one?
The Mini Chicon.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. Look at that.
You know what I mean? Like it's got balanced blade to handle almost. It's a little thick of the blade. It's a nice looking knife. I'm not really good with spear tips. Not a big fan of them.
It's not as usable, but it's mostly usable. That 2.5 inch blade, though, man.
Yeah,
it is small.
I couldn't even carry that knife. This knife is too small for me. Just my hand, you won't even see it. I could just hide the whole thing in my hand. No problem.
Yeah. Is that more dangerous as a knife or a fist load?
It's definitely, it's so nice. It's like I knew I'd like it, but I didn't like it, and I ordered it. Because, we could send it back. It's Amazon. But I really like it, man.
So the red's nice too, but I think I like this copper better.
I think they're awesome if they would make them in men's sizes.
Now, the copper's an unusual color, right? That's a little different.
I love copper knives. I'm just getting out of my copper kick now.
Yeah. No, I like this. I think
now I was into white. Now I think I want PEI. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm, again, the button lock, Inky says I'm going to like it, but I don't know. It also seems very sleek, but this one does appeal to me. I could see my way clear to giving this one a shot.
You flick it open with your thing here.
I think the red one would look.
It's great.
I think that red one would look better with a white blade, or even the Damascus blade. The all black is really stark up against that red. That's just my 2 cents.
Well, that's contrast is great. I just think that red is too aluminy, glowy for that black. If that was a duller red, I think it'd be beautiful. That red's just too red.
I think that this black and red is actually really quite a sexy look, and that's not really something I like to think of about knives.
Something I like to think of about you.
I really, really like that look, but I got to say, there's something about this copper that just, damn, that really gets my motor running.
Well, it's a nice high flat grind. That I will say that I like.
I love that.
Well, on that small of a blade, you kind of have to flat grind it because otherwise, what the hell are you grinding it with, right?
You can hollow grind that, can't you?
Oh, I know you can, but that takes a lot of effort in such a tiny little blade.
On well, it depends. The older machines, I don't know what they're using, but the older machines used to run those off in no time at all. The hollow grind, because you got wheels, right? Like the burger machines and the American Seatmans, they're basically all wheel.
See, that to me is just absolutely boring.
You know what I think? Did you see the Walmart knife by any chance? Their button lock knife, it's $24.99. It goes in the order of that kind of Benchmade bug out look, that line they have.
I really hate shopping at Walmart.
I'm pretty sure it's made by Civivi. I bought it. It's really nice, man. And I don't want to get into Walmart knives, but it's Sandvik steel. It's micarta. It's tight as a drum. It's a button lock, smooth as silk. With a thumb stud, though. No flip around.
There was a guy who did a video on YouTube. He's there's some of the guys use this title all the time. I bought all these so you won't have to. And he did that. He bought all the Walmart knives. And I got to say, though, when he laid them out in his thumbnail, there was some, I'm not hugely, like, not over the top, but there's some stuff I wouldn't mind carrying just for the looks. You know, quality is obviously important too, but like, I mean, it wasn't so, like, some of these guys these days get so radically different with their designs. They it's not that they're ugly, they're just not appealing to, they narrow the market that they appeal to. Some people might like
Absolutely.
this, some people might not, and that's okay. It's just that a lot of times if it's not my market, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna, nah, you know.
Absolutely. But then you've got the other side of the coin where you've made something so generic and blah that it'll appeal to everyone, and yet it doesn't appeal to anyone because it's just so blah, you know?
Yeah, it's utility. Like, I mean, though, that the kind of, most of the guys that kind of do that thing, they get cut. They're more looking for, because if you look at my knives, I'll be honest, my knives aren't very exotic. I do some nice work with the handles material and do some design, but they're not very exotic. But I make bushcraft knives. Utility is primary in those guys' minds.
Absolutely.
Right?
As it should be.
Yeah. As where some of these folders, like, we've gone over this before. The average person, if you're opening an Amazon package, it doesn't much matter if your knife looks like a dragon claw or your knife looks like an ordinary knife. It'll still do the job. So just not your teeth, especially with the paper insulated envelopes. I've tried that. It sucks.
So, gentlemen, it is getting to be about that time again. We have run out of time, and we didn't even get through everything we wanted to this week. So, can't say I'm surprised by that. It's very easy for us to get off on a tangent, especially on some new cool stuff. So, anyways, that having been said, I think we're going to go back to a regular format next week, but then there's still a couple of brands we want to look at, so we might sneak in some new stuff anyway. Don't tell anyone.
And
so
I just want to say something. I would encourage, so Inky, Grant, and I, we always go, oh, it looks like this, it looks like this. Sometimes we're talking about knives that go way back. And so you kind of get a feel for the design of the knives and the progression of how the industry's moved along. I would encourage checking some of those knives up that we've talked about. The internet would probably have good examples. Just wanted to throw that out there.
An awful lot of those knives are discussed on a forum like forum.multitool.org, which has been around for almost 20 years. And so we've got an awful lot of history there and an awful lot of cool stuff that you've probably never heard of. So feel free to check that out. But Inky, have you got any final thoughts you would like to share on anything we've seen or things that you want people to take away from today's episode? What are your thoughts?
Don't use small knives.
Okay. So, Abe, what parting thoughts have you got for us this time? What would you like people to take home?
Yeah, I think I shared it. Like, definitely check, because it, you know, I think you'll enjoy it. If you're a knife person, you're going to enjoy seeing some of the progressions. Like, you know, like, I can remember when I said that one looks like a Kershaw handle. You'll know exactly what I mean. And about the forum guys, you're talking about guys, the forum's been around for a while. Chances are you won't even have to dig around the internet. Somebody's going to say, oh, like this one, and they're going to post a picture up of the knife. So, which is kind of cool. The only
That is
problem you're going to have
generally
is
how it
where to
works.
find
Yeah.
them. Yeah, to buy. Now you could be like me and you want to buy them.
Everybody send Abe pictures of all the knives you like and tell him what's good about them.
So you can go out and buy them. Anyways, that is it for another week for us, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. It's great to have you all. Feel free to send us a message at EDC-TV at multitool.org or come and visit us on the forum. We'd love to have you. That is about it for another week. And yeah, I wanted to think of some cool stuff to say as I close out, but I really can't right now. So just make sure you all take care of each other out there, okay? See you next week.